Hello, Dave Moore with PITC, and today we're going to be going over the testing procedure for an RP. The RP that we're going to be testing is a Zurn Wilkins 375. The first thing in this test, we're going to flush and clean any debris out of our test cocks. After we've flushed and cleaned our test cocks, we're going to take our high hose and connect it to test cock number 2. The first test we perform on an RP is testing our check 1 in forward, or a pressure differential across check valve number 1. We're going to slowly pressurize our gauge and bleed any air out. Once we've bled the air out of our gauge, we're going to isolate our device, and we're going to slowly open test cock number 3. Our minimum spring tension on check 1 is 5 psi, so during this test we must hold above 5 psi for 2 minutes. We're holding at 10.9 psi. If it holds constant for 2 minutes, that's a pass. The second part of this test is to test when our relief is going to open. We do this by slowly admitting air with our needle valve, and then observing when our relief opens. This relief opened at 4.6. The minimum relief opening point is 2 psi, so that would be a pass. We're then going to open the needle valve all the way to fully exercise that relief. Once we've done this, we're going to remove our high hose from test cock 2 and put it to test cock 3. We're going to shut off our test cocks. We're going to re-establish pressure within our device. We're going to pressurize and bleed our gauge. Once we've bled our gauge, we're going to shut off isolation valve 1 and open test cock number 4. We're now going to be testing check 2 in forward pressure. We're establishing our pressure differential across check number 2. Our check number 2 has a spring minimum of 1 psi, so we need to hold above 1 psi for 2 minutes. We're holding at 3.1 psi. If it held constant for 2 minutes, that would be a pass. We're then going to shut our test cocks off. We're going to take our high hose off of test cock number 3 and move it to test cock number 4. At this point, we're going to re-establish pressure in our device. We're going to pressurize and bleed our gauge. We're going to isolate our device. And now we're going to check check 2 in reverse flow. We do this by opening test cock number 3. Right now our pressure differential is reading too high, so we need to lower our pressure to a readable level. And we must maintain a constant pressure for 2 minutes. We observe for 2 minutes. If our needle does not move, we close our test cocks and return the device back to service.